Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right. There's been a lot of back and forth and people discussing whether or not the IQD is actually on the Forex, because people are claiming that the currency is floating and that it is on the Forex. So I did a video slightly discussing it, but sometimes you just got to bring the receipts, if you get my drift. So let's get into this and see if the IQD, which is known as the Iraqi dinar, is on the Forex. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold, silver, or any other precious metals, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description, or just type in www.moneymetals.com/Pimpy. If you make a purchase when you follow that link, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win 10 free silver ounces. So get started today, and hopefully your stack will start to look like this real soon. So head on over, tell them Pimpy sent you. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Metals, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. Okay, so is the IQD on the Forex? Because sometimes when you're talking to people, they don't want to hear the truth. They say their favorite YouTuber is promising and swearing up and down it is on the Forex. So as usual, I have to come through and bring the receipts, shall we? And I did find this article. I was like, wow, why is the IQD on the Forex? So I stated this before. I did talk to a friend of mine. He was explaining why the IQD is on the Forex. So what happens is the IQD is a legitimate currency. Money exchanges, not the global Forex, does list the IQD. Since the IQD is a recognizable, legitimate currency, they still keep track of it. But it's not paired up with anything, and it's not trading. Let me give you a small example of what I'm talking about. This is the exchange rate in the UK. The live Iraqi dinar IQD exchange rates. So here what you do is you have a list of countries that are matched up against the IQD. So if you're going to travel, you can come to this particular website and look at it and get an idea of how much of the currency of the other country you can get with the amount of money that you have. Or you could buy it here. If you choose to buy the currency, this is how much it's going to cost you. They have an IQD converter over here. So let's say I live in Iraq and I want to go to Great Britain. If I go to the money exchange and I say, hey, I need some British pounds, 1 million IQDs will give me $614.08 worth of the British pounds. That's what this is. Money exchanges, not the official global foreign exchange website. So as you go through this article, I like it. This is the Forex Academy. Let's go through this article, because what I want you to get from this article is why the Iraqi dinar is still a great investment. So the Iraqi dinar is a currency of Iraq and has been in circulation since 1932. Over the years, it has undergone several changes in the value due to various economic, political, and social factors. In recent years, the IQD has gained attention in the foreign exchange market, also known as the Forex. And this article will explore the reasons why the IQD is on the Forex. So they talk about why the IQD is on the Forex and why they are a good investment. And I like what the article is saying about the IQD and is why I'm bringing this to your attention. We'll go through it and then at the end I'll clarify some things, all right? It says, firstly, it's important to understand what Forex is. Forex is a decentralized marketplace where currencies are traded. It's the largest financial market in the world, with an average daily turnover of $5 trillion. Forex trading involves buying and selling currencies with the aim of making a profit from the fluctuations in their value. Currencies are traded in pairs. I showed you what those pairs were just a second ago. I'll highlight them again here in just a minute. With the exchange rate representing the value of one currency against another. The IQD is on the Forex because it's a tradable currency. That means that individuals and institutions can buy and sell IQD on the Forex market just like any other currency. The IQD is traded against other major currencies such as the US dollar, euro, and British pound. The exchange rate of the IQD is determined by market forces of supply and demand. If it was on the Forex and it was free floating, then it would be determined by supply and demand on the open market. One of the main reasons why the IQD is on the Forex is because Iraq's oil reserves. Iraq has one of the largest oil reserves in the world, which makes it an important player in the global oil market. The revenue generated from oil exports is a significant source of income for Iraq. As a result, the value of the IQD is closely tied to the price of oil. Well, that's not the only reason why, but yeah, that makes sense. If the revenues generated for your budget mostly comes from oil, then that makes sense, obviously. But Iraq needs to change that. When the price of oil goes up, the value of the IQD also tends to rise. This correlation makes the IQD an attractive currency to trade for investors who are interested in the oil market. Like I said, although this article, in my opinion, is wrong in a couple of places, I'm going to highlight what I'm talking about and why and then prove it. But what I want you to focus on is the highlights of why the Iraqi dinar is a good investment, because it applies now, even though it is on a fixed exchange rate. I do believe in a very, very near future that is going to change. And all these factors that this article is going to highlight are the reason why. Another reason why the IQD is on the Forex is because Iraq's economical reforms. In recent years, Iraq has implemented several economic reforms aimed at improving its economy. In the early days they did, and then it ran into a window of time in which there was too much corruption going on, too much bickering politically. We had ISIS come in for a while. I mean, it's been one thing after another. Ever since the end of 2019, Iraq has been doing everything they could to get on track. And I admit, I've been praising them when the praise is due, that they have been doing a lot to reform the way they were. So I agree with this part of the article. These reforms include reducing subsidies, increasing taxes, and improving the business environment. These measures have led to the increased foreign investment in Iraq and have boosted the country's economy. As a result, the value of the IQD has also improved, making it a more attractive currency to trade. So it's not just the oil. Keep that in mind. I brought this to people's attention several times, but again, listen to what the article says. Political stability is also an important factor in determining the value of the currency. Iraq has been plagued by political instability and conflict for many years. However, in recent years, there have been efforts to improve the political situation in Iraq. The defeat of ISIS and the formation of a new government have brought some stability to the country. This has had a positive impact on the value of the IQD, making it a more attractive currency to trade. I agree with this tons. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, and then we find out that Maliki has pulled all kinds of stunts, and it's back to being fully corrupted. As far as I know, it's not anywhere as corrupt as it was before. So far, so good. I do believe al-Sudani is sincere with the reforms that he's making. Finally, the IQD is on the Forex because of the demand for it from Iraq's expatriates. There are millions of Iraqis living abroad, and many of them send money back home to their families. This creates a demand for IQD, which can be met through Forex trading. Many Forex brokers offer IQD trading to cater to this demand. Again, that's something to think about when they finally do get on the Forex and they decide to let the currency float freely. So in conclusion, the IQD is on the Forex because it's a tradable currency that is influenced by various economic, political, and social factors, which I brought up many times. Everybody's like, no, Pimpy, man, just take oil in consideration. I said, you got to do more than just take oil into consideration. A lot of things go into determining the value of the currency. Iraqi's oil reserves, economic reforms, political stability, and demand from expatriates are all factors that contribute to the IQD's presence on the Forex. Forex trading of IQD is a way for investors to profit from the fluctuations in its value. As with any currency trading, there are risks involved, and investors should do their due diligence before investing. So I do like all the reasons that they brought up. Is all great reasons to have faith in the investment you made in the IQD. But if you go over to the Forex platform and you try to find the IQD, you're not going to be able to find it. Watch. See this? Forex trading. So let's look up Iraqi dinar first. 2 results. So not only can you see the information about the IQD, but also the Vietnam Dong. At this time, Forex.com does not offer trading in the Iraqi dinar. However, we do offer Forex trading in over 80 currency pairs in addition to silver and gold trading. Same thing with the Vietnam Dong. They're not on the foreign exchange. Is the Iraqi dinar a wise investment? Again, pay attention to the wording in here because they'll make you feel good about at least holding the Iraqi dinar at the moment. I know a lot of you were promised that somebody pull a wine out their butt and sprinkle unicorn pixie dust on everything, and the rate change will happen in 2 days, or God told them that they had a specific date, and for whatever reason, God was lying to them. But let's get back to this. So what does it mean to invest in the Iraqi dinar? In simple terms, it's the same as investing in any other currency. You purchase a certain amount of Iraqi dinar by paying the equivalent amount of US dollars or any other country currency. As with buying stocks, bonds, and other currencies, when investing, you purchase dinar at a given price and then expect their price to rise. The real question, though, is not just can you invest in a particular currency, but should you? While Iraqi dinars could be useful to those living in or near Iraq, there are many reasons not to invest in the currency. Key takeaways. The Iraqi dinar is the currency of Iraq and can be exchanged for US dollars. Hopes that Iraq's economy can recover from civil and regional wars have led to some speculation that Iraq dinar can increase in value against the dollar. However, major banks and brokers do not offer trading of the IQD/USD pair, and transactions are placed through money exchanges, which charge hefty fees. The value of the Iraqi dinar is set by the Iraqi government. It's actually set by the Central Bank of Iraq. Iraq's currency faces many challenges and much uncertainty in both the short and long runs. So right here just gives you a little bit of a history so you understand what happened. But I want to drop down to this 3rd paragraph. The fact that the new government was supported by several global powers raised hopes that the Iraqi economy would soon turn for the better, especially after the economic isolation that the country suffered through the 1990s. By 2007, the IMF wrote approvingly of the Iraqi government's anti-inflation measures, noting that the Central Bank of Iraq raised its policy interest rates sharply and allowed a gradual appreciation of the dinar. So in 2007, things were starting to move in the right direction. As the Iraqi economy began to recover, many speculators began to buy large amounts of Iraqi dinars, expecting the currency to continue to rise. Some pointed to the rise of the Kuwaiti dinar after the Gulf War as evidence that the Iraqi dinar could experience similar success. At the same time, several U.S. regulators warned of scammers selling dinar investments for inflated rates and fees. So when I hear people out there talking about, oh no, the Iraqi dinar is fraud, the Iraqi dinar is a scam. No, it's not. It's a legitimate currency. The people that they're dealing with are the scammers or the fraudsters. That's the difference between the two things. The currency itself is not a fraud. In late 2020, the Iraqi government announced a devaluation of more than 20% of the Iraqi dinar to make up for a shortfall in liquidity. The act resulted in public protests in a country that was already struggling due to worldwide RONA pandemic. So what happened in 2020 was the Iraqi dinar, you could buy it 1,190 dinars for every $1. It then decreased to where you can get 1,450 dinars for every dollar. What they don't have in here was the increase in the value of the Iraqi dinar when it went back the other way. And where we are now is you get 1,320 dinars for every dollar. So it did increase after it decreased. So when people say, oh, this is never going to RV, I'm like, what do you mean? It's RV twice in the last 6 months. So this is what I mean. People don't know the difference between an RV and an RI. Fast fact, the Iraqi dinar does not trade on the global Forex market. Let me repeat this. The Iraqi dinar does not trade on the global Forex market. This means the only way to invest in dinars is through a high fee money changer or the black market. Here it is, Pimpy, bringing you guys the receipts as usual. Advantages and disadvantages. There are some reasons to be optimistic about the future of the Iraqi economy. With Iraq having 11.7% of the world's oil reserve, it has the potential to spring back and establish itself as a stable economy. That will require a peaceful, promising business atmosphere to establish investors' confidence and revive its economy. That's what I've been saying all along. There's no stability in the government. There's no stability in the economy. And that was causing uprising, so there was no stability in the country. Not to mention ISIS came in for a little bit, and then Trump came in and cleaned them out. But that does not necessarily mean that buying the Iraqi dinar is the best way to bet on the Iraqi economy. For one thing, the Iraqi dinar does not float freely. The Iraqi dinar does not float freely. The exchange rate is fixed by the central bank, meaning that the currency is unlikely to experience any rapid change in value. In contrast, a more traditional investment vehicle like the Iraqi stock could offer returns even if the value of the dinar remains unchanged. Moreover, the legitimate trading volume is extremely low. The IQD is not traded on the global Forex. The IQD is not traded on the global Forex market. The IQD is not traded on the global Forex market. And only a handful of Middle East banks are willing to trade in it. If you have to buy Iraqi dinars, you can buy them only at selected money exchangers, who may or may not be legally registered. These brokers may charge up to 20% for such transactions, eroding the profit potentials even for short-term trading. But perhaps the largest concern is the number of scams and frauds concerning the Iraqi dinar. Several U.S. state regulators as far back as 2011 have warned any currency brokers promising high returns while charging hefty fees for hard-to-sell dinars. The scam proved particularly popular in 2016's election amid rumors that then President Donald Trump would somehow cause the Iraqi currency to soar. Yeah, I remember that. Everybody was all excited, swearing up and down that they knew for a fact that Donald Trump owned the IQD, even though there was no evidence out there whatsoever. The Iraqi dinar reached its highest value against the US dollar in January of 2016. At the time, the dinar was trading at 1,090 dinars per US dollar. Now, I'm pretty sure I covered this on the other video, but the reason why I'm doing it again is so that you have all the other articles that are tied in together. So if you specifically need proof that the IQD is or is not on the Forex, or that it is or is not a legitimate investment, or it is or is not floating freely, here you go. Pros and cons of the dinar. So the pros are, Iraq has a large oil reserve that could support economic growth. For those living or working in Iraq, buying dinar could be a suitable investment. The cons, the IQD has very little legitimate trading volume. That's because outside investors are not confident in Iraq yet, and it's not on the global foreign exchange. The IQD exchange rate is fixed by the Central Bank of Iraq and does not float with the market. There is no in-country floating, out-of-country floating. All that is bullshit, and people keep telling you that. So I've explained this already. When you read the news article and it says you're buying it at this level, you're selling it at that level at the bank. But the parallel markets say that is selling at this level and buying at that level. Basically, the reason for keeping track of the parallel rates, the gap between the fixed rate and the black market rate was too wide. And one of the ways you can close that gap is to increase the value of the Iraqi dinar currency. IQD does not trade on global Forex market, meaning that only way to buy it is through high fee money exchanges or certain banks in the Middle East. So we know this value has changed, so this article needs a little updating. Now here we go. Somebody's asking me if I had any idea when an IQD exchange rate would change. I said in 2026 and they got all pissy. Let's look at this. The value of the Iraqi dinar is unlikely to change before 2026. Now, that's not true. As you can see here in this article, they're showing you that the value of the Iraqi dinar was 1,458 dinars for every $1. That's after they had devalued it by 20%. Now, have they changed their exchange rate since then? Yes. Yes, they have. So although an article came out where so-called insiders said they had no intentions on changing the exchange rate for the next 4 years, we know that's not accurate. They have changed it since then. So having said that, but let's analyze this just a little bit. Even though they did change and increase the value of the Iraqi dinar, that doesn't mean they have any intentions on doing that anytime soon. The next time we see any increase in the value might not be until 2026. Right now, they're trying to pass a 3-year budget for 2023, 2024, and 2025. Meaning the exchange rate most likely would change again in 2026. That doesn't mean it won't before then. We know that for a fact because it has. There are certain circumstances that might force it to increase in value between now and 2026. So don't get all depressed, but just keep in mind it might not change again until 2026. Now that doesn't mean Pimpy believes that. I have reason to believe that it will go up in increments before then. It really just depends on the devaluing of the US dollar and the increase in the Iraqi dinar along with other factors. So the bottom line, how Iraq, its economy, and hence the Forex rate develop over a long-term and continuing uncertain bet. If you hold Iraqi dinars and do not live in or near the Middle East, the currency is difficult to trade and cannot earn interest. Although it is possible that the dinar could rise in the distant future, there are many other investments with low risk and higher rewards. When Iraq's very survival is at stake, currency revaluation is unlikely to be on the agenda. In addition, trading Forex currencies is always risky, as external factors at international levels are difficult to control or predict. Unless they are trading on a regulated market or through regulated agents, traders and investors should use extreme caution when trading Iraqi dinar or similar currencies. The investment that he's talking about that would probably have better returns for you is just investing in the stock market in Iraq, which I belong to a group of people that does. So I just wanted to clarify this one last time because people are like, people don't know what he's talking about. It's on the Forex in country. It's floating freely in country. No, it's not. Yes, they do monitor both rates, but it's for the sole purpose of financial information needed by the Central Bank of Iraq to determine the gap between the two parallel rates and whether or not they need to address it one way or another. They're doing all the right things now, putting themselves in place to strengthen the Iraqi dinars. So I do believe that it will increase in value before 2026. Not that much, but in small increments. I still feel that way, and I still do think it's going to happen before the 26th. As far as the exchange rate change in 2026, there's reason to believe that exchange rate change is going to be doozy of an exchange rate change. And I have reasons to believe that. So once again, I hope that clears things up as far as whether or not the Iraqi dinar is on a Forex. But I'm sure some people are going to come back because their guru made up some weird ass reason why. They're going to say something like, oh, it's in the back office. Or only white hats know about this. Yeah, that's what it is. Or only Donald Trump's people know about the real exchange rate. Something like that. Yeah, you guys stay grounded. Don't get caught up in a hype. There is no in-country, out-of-country exchange rate. There's no in-country, free-floating exchange rate, out-of-country, fixed exchange rate. No, it's the same all the way around, okay? So just hang tight. Don't be impatient. In my opinion, it's going to increase in value. It's not going to increase the way people lie to you about, but I do believe we will see some things change. I do believe we'll see a very healthy change in exchange rate over the next couple of years, all right? Anyways, that's it for now. I hope that clarifies it even more. I brought receipts. It's up to you what you do with the information. That's it for now. I'm out.